Well, 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 if it isn't me again, I say to myself. Haha. Hello, friends. Welcome back. Would you look at this? A video about my May bullet journal setup halfway through the month of May. Now, there's reasons for this, okay? And as you can tell, I'm not in my usual setup. We are currently sitting on my couch. Actually, I'm sitting on the floor, and my journal is sitting on the little like extended chaise end of my couch, and I am leaning over it while filming this, while also simultaneously sitting next to my sweet baby child, puppy dog Valor, because she's recovering from surgery. So let's get into it, shall we? May has kind of been wild. At the beginning, I was in California, took another theater gig, so traveled and did that. Came home, and 2 days later, took the sweet baby perfect child Valor into the veterinary hospital to spend the night because she was having surgery. And don't worry, she's all right. Spoiler alert, she is okay. But her recovery is pretty gnarly. So we do have mattresses set up in the living room covered with pillows and blankets so that she can just lay, and then one of us lays next to her, making sure that she stays still, she doesn't disturb her incision, and that she stays nice and calm and happy. So, yeah, that's what's happening. Point being, I didn't have time. Okay, I didn't have time to get fancy and set up a whole spread, a whole cover page situation, and I didn't have time to film. And so now I'm doing it while sitting on the floor next to my dog. And as you can see, I'm making mistakes in real time, friends. I started with one height for the letter M, and then the A and the Y went a box higher. So we're going with it, okay? I don't have the time to get out the whiteout and to try to fix it. Absolutely not. When this happens, we call it a design choice, all right? We say it loud and proud, nice and confident with our full chest, and we go, no, I meant it to be that way. So if you make any little mistakes that seem kind of silly or dumb or stupid or small in your life, maybe even big ones, you can just call it a design choice, and then no one can question you on it. I mean, they probably could question you, but you don't have to answer their questions because it's a design choice. And there you go. See, look, I fixed it. It's a little wonky, but it's fine. Okay, this is also the second time I'm recording this voiceover, so this might be even more rambly than normal because the first one, which was of course perfect, no notes, 10 out of 10, got lost and just didn't record audio. Even though there was an audio file, there was no audio. So, you're welcome for the insanity that ensues. All right. So as I said, May has been kind of huge. Out of town trying to get some dollars before we had to take this child in to go get this surgery, because this is actually the second time she's had this surgery. She had the same surgery on her other back leg last year in March, and apparently I wasn't aware prior to this past year that mid to large sized dogs, and particularly labs, often end up tearing their CCL, their cruciate ligament, which is basically the same thing as an ACL in humans. It's that fancy ligament in your knee that essentially keeps your leg attached to itself. Um, and they often tear theirs later in life. And kind of the only way to fix it is to surgically go in, open up the leg, cut the bones, rotate them, and then reattach them with metal plates and lots of screws. And you're essentially making it act more like a human knee. Spoiler alert, dog knees are not the same as human knees. Eliminating the need for their particular ligament altogether. And so she went through this last year, and the recovery is kind of wild because for 3 months she needs to basically just like sit and lay and do nothing while the bones heal. And this is my adventure baby, okay? Valor is the one who stares off into the distance with fire and passion in her eyes, and she loves to play and she loves to explore. And I don't know that she will ever actually age because she acts like a puppy all of the time, even though she's 8 years old. And this is absolute torture to her because for 3 months she has to basically just be drugged be tranquilized in order to sit still and do nothing. And it's the worst, and she hates it. And also, she's a dog, so she doesn't understand that she had surgery and that she needs to not destroy her leg that is healing. Yeah, she doesn't understand that at all. So, hence, mattress on the floor in the living room, and then myself or my partner has to sit next to her to make sure she's not destroying her incision or getting up and trying to jump or run or do anything ridiculous. So, she did have this before on the other leg, and now she's got this one because, as the doctors told us last time, once you tear one, the likelihood of tearing the other increases by 80%, which is very similar to humans. My sister has played soccer her whole life, and she had both of her ACLs tear a few years apart and had to have them both surgically repaired. So, very similar in that way. Anyway, now she has two bionic legs. Both of her knees are held together with metal and screws. So it's a lot for a dog, okay? It's a lot for just a sweet, perfect baby child who's just sitting here doing nothing and not even asking for this. In addition, on the day that I'm recording this, my partner just found out that his second job closed. The company straight up just closed, and everyone's losing their jobs, which is not great. Now it is his second job, so like, don't worry, we will be okay. Um, though he is out currently trying to secure an additional second job. And why two jobs, you ask? In this economy? Shut up. You know why. uh, but don't worry, we'll figure something out and we'll be all right. But golly, it's just kind of been a month. So hence, I did not have time to set up a friggin' journal setup thing. And so I did go ahead and cut the edges of my pages and put on my little vinyl gold tape on the end. And I did set up my pain chart just to go ahead and have that ready. But I've just been using the pages beyond this for my dailies and for my normal stuff. And I just had a blank cover sitting here until halfway through the month. And I decided, hey, I've got a random afternoon where I'm just sitting here next to my dog, and I think I got 20 minutes to maybe set this up. I'm going to use black pen and nothing else, and I have no plan of what I'm going to draw, and I'm just going to doodle. So on the right side, those like little sweepy dews that are coming in from the side, I don't know what they are. Is it hair? Is it metaphorical wind in the desert? Is it flames? Nobody knows. You tell me, actually, in the comments. It's left up to your interpretation. That's art, baby. And then across the bottom, I have mountains. And I tried this new little technique that I found on Pinterest, I think, on some like inspo board where you like just do a bunch of little hash lines to kind of create the topography of the landscape. You just like draw your silhouette line on the top from the peaks, draw some squiggly lines down, and then just do some like hash marks that are directional that kind of create the illusion of the earth. And then on the top, we did some swirly gigs, is the technical term for them. And maybe it's clouds, or maybe it's water, or maybe it's macaroni and cheese. Nobody knows. But anyway, honestly, I think it looks kind of cute. We had no idea what this was going to be 20 minutes ago, but I think it worked out. Actually, it feels kind of maximalist for someone who sat down not knowing what they were going to draw. But that's an illusion, friends. All I did was scribble with a pen. Anyway, as you can see, I did set up my pain chart, but I've not been doing a great job of keeping up with it. Look at all those days that I've missed. But like, that's just life. If we're going to talk about bullet journaling with chronic pain, sometimes you just can't be arsed to do it. And if we're talking about bullet journaling just as a human being, sometimes you can't be arsed to do it. Now, I do want to point out one thing from my last video that's different. I did decide to create a new category. I did split up my lower back pain and my pelvic pain because last month I got some needles put in my spine for a lumbar medial branch block very fancy sounding, to try to help with some back pain. And my back pain has actually lowered from high to mid on my scale. It's only a three-pronged scale of low, mid, and high, but it went from high to mid. And that's kind of a huge victory. So, uh, anyway, hope this was interesting. The rambles do be ramblin'. I can tell you though, my nails look pretty friggin' cute for this vid. That's kind of all I got. Now I'm gonna go sit next to this gorgeous child. Hi, look at this sweet baby. And I actually was never not sitting next to her this whole time. So if you stuck around this long, then you are rewarded with the sweet, perfect face of my perfect baby child. Yes, she's just the most perfect child ever. Can you tell I'm speaking next to her? Absolutely. We resort to the ridiculous, like parent talking to a baby kind of speech. Anyway, this is Valor. She is a perfect baby princess. She's an adventure warrior, and currently she has to be tranquilized so that she will stay still. And you can see our very exciting mattress, pillow fort, blanket, mountain setup. It's very exciting. And yeah, so honestly, I do have to say, while the world is burning and spinning into a fiery chasm of doom, just out into the black hole that is space and time in the universe, the best place I could probably be, the absolute best place I could be, is sitting right here next to this child and just petting her while she falls asleep. Yeah. Hey friends, take care of yourselves. Don't take yourselves too seriously. And if you got a lot going on and if things are just full of shit and insanity, a hell in a handbasket kind of way, do what you need to cope and to manage, and then do something that allows you to connect with the people and beings that you love. And if you have a pet, go pet that baby right now. They deserve it. They absolutely deserve it. They need belly rubs. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.